So, more Battlefield Hardline information for your faces today. We're going to get to have a look at all of the maps that will be available for Battlefield Hardline at launch. Now, some of these have been detailed already, things like High Tension and other maps that we've seen in previous gameplay videos, but there comes an added twist because a lot of them have been renamed since the last time we saw them. So let's get into this. First up, we have Downtown, and this is High Tension, the map that we played in the first beta way back in June 2014. But as I said, it does have a new name. The map itself, though, hasn't changed much, and to be honest, I don't really think it needed to change a huge amount. I didn't have a lot of complaints with it from the first beta. The only thing that I really didn't like was the insane amount of screen shake when the crane comes down. But that has since been fixed, so that's a really good thing. Next up, we have Riptide. Now, from the pictures that we've got, this looks like an all-out Battlefield map, and this is really going to be great if you want Hardline, but you still want that traditional Battlefield experience. Now, I have actually played a few rounds of modes on this map, but I can't really talk about them too much because there's information that isn't out in the public yet, and I'm not allowed to reveal that. That has to come from EA first of all. But from the screenshot, we can tell it's a nice open map. There's plenty of water there surrounding like sandy beaches and expensive seaside buildings, which could be great places for destruction. And it looks like the limited number of air vehicles that will be included in Hardline, because you've only really got the scout helicopter, and there's no rockets on that. You're only going with like sort of the main cannon, and you do have transport choppers as well, but it does look like there's a lot of airspace there that is ripe to be used. So if you are somebody who likes flying around in a helicopter, this map could be for you. Right then, third map, Bank Job. Title says it all really. It's a bank, and there's plenty of areas outside as well. You can see from a couple of these screenshots that there is sort of streets that surround the bank, but trust me on this one, you'll want to focus your gameplay as much as possible to inside the bank. If you like close quarter style gameplay, it probably doesn't get much more frantic than this. There's loads of tight corridors, which brings massive amounts of opportunity for micro destruction and getting in those close quarters battle fights. So if you're a kind of person who really likes using a shotgun, you're going to feel right at home here. Up next is one of my favourites. This is called The Block, and it was previously called Blood Out, and I did detail this a couple of weeks ago in one of my other videos. The screenshots don't show a huge amount of what we've got here, but from the description on the website, this is kind of like a front for a drug ring. There's loads of these little alleyways and little buildings out the back of a petrol station and sort of like corner shop, and it sort of lends itself to a really nice close quarters style. In the background of one of those screenshots, you can see the cityscape of Los Angeles as well, so it looks as if this map sort of takes place in the same sort of region, but it kind of looks like we're going to get a completely different style of gameplay. Another map that you'll probably really enjoy if you like the sort of more open warfare that Battlefield is used to bringing is Dust Bowl. This is again another map that we've already had a small look at, and we don't get a huge amount more of a look here, but we can say that this is one of the larger maps in Hardline, and the battle has gone from outside of the city out into the desert. The action sort of centres around this motel section in the middle of the map, which again is kind of reminiscent of the map we just looked at, The Block. Those kind of buildings do look very similar, but there are a lot of wide open spaces around the outside of that, little clusters of buildings here and there, but I think overall this is going to be one of the more open maps and probably could work really well for the Hotwire game mode, which is where all the objectives become cars and you just basically need to keep hold of them. Another map that we've already seen is Hollywood Heights, and it has been slightly renamed. It was called Hills or Hollywood Hills before, but it's now been renamed to Hollywood Heights, and I actually detailed this in a trailer breakdown that I did. I'll link that in the description. There's going to be loads of micro destruction in this map. You get to see that in the trailer, but at least by some of these screenshots you can just tell you're going to be able to rip through the walls. I kind of want to know what the bigger part of Levolution is going to entail here. We can see from the trailer that it looks as if the front of the house falls down, which could be something really cool to see, and I'd like to see how that affects gameplay as well. Another drug-riddled map here, we have Grow House. Now this one was actually shown off at Gamescom with the Rescue game mode, the 5v5 competitive game mode. And it just focuses around a grow house underneath a factory in an industrial district. There are a lot of rooftops that you can use. There's below ground, above ground, and rooftops. So there's quite a lot of vertical gameplay there. But from some of the screenshots, you can't really tell, but you can set fire to all of the cannabis plants in the basement, which I think is a really cool idea. You can equip a gas mask in Hardline. If you don't have that on and you're in the room with all of the drugs on fire, then you start to sort of take hits on your health, just like you would from a gas grenade. I think that's a really cool thing to see. And to finish up, we have 2 maps here, both of which are on the larger side, but we'll start with Derailed, which was previously known as Eastside. Now, again, I've had a chance to play this map, but I'm not really too sure how much I can say, so I'm just going to stick to the screenshots. Again, looks like a nice open map, but with some more close quarters infantry areas inside the buildings. But you can see the large Los Angeles storm drain there, which looks as if we're going to be able to use it, judging by the trailer breakdown that I did. You can actually get down there in vehicle, so it would probably be a nice way to get your way and flank round the enemy on this map if you're playing something like Conquest. So it could play out really well. And last, but by no means least, we have Everglades, which is the map that I recently reviewed in my recent bunch of gameplay that I released on my channel here. We were playing the Hotwire game mode, first time we played it, and this is definitely one of the larger, flatter maps within the game. There's not a huge amount of leveling to it. There are a few towers that you can use to snipe from, but most of the gameplay takes place on the ground. So there we have it, all of the maps that you can expect in Battlefield Hardline when it launches in March this year. However, we are looking at 2 of these maps for the beta, that's Downtown and Dust Bowl, with the possibility of unlocking a 3rd one, Bank Job, if we complete a community mission for Battlefield 4. If by Saturday this week, the whole Battlefield 4 community can achieve 2 billion points in Rush mode, the 3rd mode and map will be unlocked for the beta. So, if you want to play anything this weekend, get your butt into a game of Rush on Battlefield 4, and we can unlock ourselves a 3rd game mode to play. But that's about it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I want to see loads of responses in the comments today. Let me know what you think about the 9 maps that we've seen so far. I think there's a great balance of infantry gameplay and some larger maps that allow vehicle use as well. I mean, I've seen all of these maps in the flesh and have played them. I have my likes and dislikes about them. I think they're all genuinely really good maps. But let me know what you think down in the comments. But as I say, thank you very much for watching. If you could leave me a rating, that would be absolutely fantastic. But until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.